Hey everybody, so I found this little gem on YouTube. It's a clip from the movie Thunderstruck. Sorry about the quality, but there's something interesting I wanted you to see, and then we'll discuss it here in a minute.
EX plus C equals 0. Who wants to come up here and solve for X? Nobody?
Miss Hall, we have some visitors.
Okay. Students, we have a special...
Well, I think that's probably enough. The movie itself is called Thunderstruck. It's Kevin Durant losing his powers. But I thought this was kind of I thought this was kind of interesting. And then later on, they show in the clip where they actually have Kevin Durant looking at it, and he's like, "You want me to solve this?" It's pretty funny. But yeah, this is the equation they were supposed to solve for x, and guess what? We're in a position where we can do that. And I'm going to do this using completing the square. And if you watch the previous video, I can't remember, I think it's solving by completing the square part 4 or part 3 or something, where the leading coefficient is not a 1. We're going to do that very same approach. So I'm going to divide everything by a, and then that'll give me x squared plus b over ax and plus c over a equals 0. Now I'll subtract c over a to the other side. So I'm going to have x squared plus b over ax equals negative c over a. Now I need to complete the square here. So I'm going to take half of my b over a, and I'm going to square that guy. So that's going to be b over 2a, quantity squared, b squared, and then we'll square the 2, that's going to be 4. We'll square the a, that's going to be a squared. So I'm going to be adding to both sides of the equation b squared over 4a squared, okay? I'll do it right here. So I'll have x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a squared equals, and I'll write the b squared minus b squared over 4a squared first, minus the c over a. Hang on a minute. My apologies, I had someone at the door. Let's finish this. So we're looking at x squared plus b over ax plus b squared over 4a squared equals b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. It's kind of a lot for this little board. Let's see if I can clean it up. The left-hand side is a perfect square trinomial. That's going to be x plus, now it's going to be the square root of this b squared over 4a squared. So that's going to be b over 2a, quantity squared. Okay? And my right-hand side is b squared over 4a squared minus c over a. But I need to get a common denominator to subtract those guys. So I need to multiply that top and bottom of this c over a by 4a. That'll give me that 4a squared on the bottom. Okay, some of you guys might actually recognize what's about to happen here. If you don't, just wait for it. It's coming. Left-hand side, I'm not changing anything. X plus b over 2a quantity squared. The right-hand side is b squared over 4a squared minus 4ac over a squared, or excuse me, over 4a squared. And then I'm going to make that one term on the right. So I'm going to have x plus b over 2a quantity squared equals b squared minus 4ac over 4a squared. And now I'll square root both sides. Left-hand side is going to be x plus b over 2a equals plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac. In my denominator, the square root of 4a squared is just 2a. Now this should be looking familiar to a lot of people. I'll subtract the b over 2a to both sides. So negative b over 2a plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. And if you make that one term, check out what we've got. Some people know the song. X equals negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. What is that called? The quadratic formula, baby. We just derived the quadratic formula. So, in the movie, I think that's what the teacher was trying to have her students work towards, is deriving the quadratic formula, but they clearly did not see what was coming. They themselves were thunderstruck. And that, by the way, is the name of the movie, if you haven't figured that out. But yeah, that's how you approach this. Now, I used to have my students derive this thing for exams. I don't anymore, at least not in the foreseeable future. So as of 2017, if you're an online student, don't sweat it. I won't make you test on this, but I used to. And I had one student once who, I gotta tell the story. She was a real pretty thing, and I say that because she'd be right outside the math lab practicing this. And while she was practicing this, these two guys, by the way, this is a story about ladies. This is a story about how you can get a date on your terms, okay? These two guys came up to her, and they're checking her out. Like I said, she's a pretty thing. And they're like, well, we're in calculus. Maybe we can help you with your math. What are you doing there? And so she showed them, and they went from, yeah, we're all that, to, wow, what are you doing? Wow, that's cool. How do you do that? And so she showed them, and yes, she got a date out of it, but she got it on her terms. So ladies, you can use math to get dates on your terms. I got your back.